back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, my name's Hannah and I am a digital nomad living in Bali, Indonesia right now. So my previous few videos have centered on moving to Bali and my first couple of months here, but actually one of the best things about living in Bali is that you get to spend your weekends traveling and going to new places. There's so many amazing destinations that are actually in really easy reach of Canggu. So a few weeks ago I went to Sidemen, which is a lesser known part of Bali, and honestly you would never believe that it's only like an hour and 20 minutes drive away from Canggu, which has lots of cafes, shops, restaurants. It's quite westernized. Sidemen is kind of the opposite of that. It's just rice fields and traditional Balinese houses. You know, there's no big shopping malls, there's no fancy hippie cafes or anything like that. And so I was really keen to go and explore this part of Bali. I know that during normal circumstances tourists do visit Sidemen, but it's not nearly as frequented as areas like Canggu, Kuta, Seminyak and Ubud. So I was really keen to see this place, especially right now when there are so few tourists in Bali, because obviously that just adds to the experience. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. Obviously I'm back in my home in Canggu right now, but I wanted to share some clips of the trip and talk about what you should do while you're in Sidemen and where you should stay. Okay, so first things first, where we stayed. In Sidemen there is this incredible resort called Samanvaya. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. It's a luxury eco resort. It's very rustic chic. Actually, it's right next to working rice fields, so you'll actually see farmers and stuff at work while you're in the resort. It overlooks these gorgeous fields and there's mountains in the background. It's green, lush, it's beautiful. It's beautifully designed. So there are bungalows which are all made of wood and with outdoor bathrooms, and you wake up every morning to this glorious view. And there are 2 infinity pools which also overlook the rice fields. It's just beautiful, and right now they have some great deals on because obviously it's a lot quieter, so we took advantage of that and headed down. So I think the deal that we got, they're slightly different each month, but the deal that we got was like a buy one get one free thing. So we paid for the Friday night and we got the Saturday night free, and we also got 50% off at the spa, which of course I had to take advantage of. But rather than keep talking about how amazing it was, I will just show you with these clips. It's undergoing some changes. They've got a new restaurant, but honestly the best thing about it was that the people were so lovely. They were so kind and so keen to make sure that you were having a good time, and they would remember details about you and be like, oh, how was your tour, how was this, how was that, good day, katut. Basically everyone that we met there, thank you so much for an amazing stay. If you ever see this, they probably won't. Who am I kidding? I'm not a famous YouTuber, but they really did make it super special, and the hospitality was really amazing, so that was super nice. So often when I visit a new place, I do quite like to do tours myself, the DIY situation, feel a bit more like an adventurer, but we decided to do the tours at Samanvaya because it's quite it's not remote, but it's not, I can't imagine it'd be super easy to find things, and so we thought about that. And we also obviously Bali is struggling right now, and so it's great to support local businesses and locals anywhere that you can. So we decided to go for the tours, and actually we were really glad that we did, because some of the stuff we did, some of the driving and some of the waterfalls we went to, we would not have found them on our own. It just wouldn't have happened. So if you do go, I definitely would recommend taking a tour. So on the Friday that we got there, we decided to do the rice field trekking, which was amazing. It's a completely on foot tour, and our guide took us we had to paddle across this river, and they kept asking us like, are you okay with going across the river, are you okay? And we just thought it would be like paddling across and getting our feet wet, so we were like, yeah, it's fine. And it turns out it was actually really tricky because there was like quite a strong current and you had to clamber across the rocks at the same time. So then we understood why they kept trying to make sure it was okay. But it was fine, it was really pretty. And then we continued walking around, and we like just got to go walk through the rice fields and explore, and that was really amazing. We were the only foreigners there, which was a massive privilege. And yeah, the only other people there were the locals who were like bathing in the river, working in the fields. There were kids playing football, so that was really nice. They were all shouting hello, so it was really cool just to see that. Like, I don't know, I hate places that are like, oh, like a zoo where you go and stare at people, but it was cool to just pass through these areas as, you know, like local authentic Balinese life was happening. I don't know if that sounds massively knobby to say that, but it just was really cool. It was just stunning. It's like, I find it so hard not to just feel like so happy and fulfilled when you're in like such a beautiful natural place. So that was wonderful. On the Saturday morning, we got up and did the kind of like big Sidemen tour. So the guys took us to the yellow bridge, which is really funny because there's a big sign that says hati hati, which means, I think it means be careful, and basically a warning in Indonesian to say don't drive across this bridge. And then of course everyone's driving across this broken bridge, and we did too. Slightly nerve-wracking, but it was great to see. Our guide Wayan, he actually, well, as we were on the bridge, his grandma was walking across, and she came up and gave him a big hug. And then he said to us, would we like, he lives with his grandparents, and so he said to us, would we like to go and see his home? And he was quite keen for us to come and take a look, so we said yes. And yeah, we just obviously didn't take any videos or anything like that, but we just went into his house, we met his neighbours, and we just like said hi to his brother who also worked at the resort, and we just saw his, like, it was the first time I've been inside a Balinese family home, so that was really cool to see. So massive thank you for Wayan for inviting us in. That was a really great experience. And then we went to a waterfall, which, oh my god, it was driving along to the waterfall. It was like this tiny path, and I've driven on some fairly iffy roads before, but I was so glad I wasn't the one driving. I was so glad I was on the back of Wayan's scooter. The road, like if we'd gone sideways, that would have been it. It would have been down the mountain. Yeah, it was crazy. And then the path down to the waterfall was super slippy, so we were so glad to have them there. Yeah, I would definitely recommend doing the tour if you want to see this waterfall. I actually can't remember what it was called, but it was really cool. Yeah, we also got to see a couple of viewpoints, and honestly just spending time driving around the area because it's so pretty and so gorgeous, and you can see for miles. And you have like the silhouette of Mount Agung, which is the biggest mountain in Bali. In the distance, it was an incredible way to spend a morning. And so if you're going to Sidemen, I would definitely recommend you taking this tour. did at Samanvaya was in the afternoon, on Saturday afternoon, we went to Gembling Waterfall, which is this stunning waterfall. So it's quite an easy climb up actually compared to the first waterfall that we went to see. And when you get to the top, you can see for miles over like the jungle, the rice fields, and down this like beautiful waterfall. And there are like these natural, I guess, springs, like natural rock pools in the waterfall that you can go into and sort of paddle around in. So we got some beautiful pictures, and you just sit there and like see for miles over the whole area. It's really beautiful. And there were these local boys like sat at the top of the waterfall with like beer and cigarettes, probably hiding out from their parents. So that was really cool. Yeah, it was just like a really beautiful spot, and we were so lucky to get to see it at a time when there weren't many people there, because I can just imagine normally it would probably be rammed, I don't know, but it's a really stunning waterfall, and it feels so secret and like hidden away. So that was really cool to see, and I would definitely recommend going to see that one. And it only took a couple of hours, so then we got back, like had some time in the pool, and then made it to the restaurant for happy hour, which is 6 till 7 normally, although I think when we were there it was 5 till 7 to celebrate the opening of the new restaurant. The Sunday morning we just chilled. There was actually some games at the bar, so we played a game of Guess Who and swam in the pool a little bit, and then I went for a massage, and then we left to go home. So it was a short but sweet trip, but I would highly recommend it. It's like probably my favorite place that I've been in Bali so far. We had such an incredible time, saw such beautiful things, and just stayed at this gorgeous resort. Honestly, my only complaint about the trip is I kind of wish we'd had like maybe an extra day just to like chill by that beautiful pool and do nothing. But honestly, it was an amazing weekend, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It probably sounds like I'm just like trying to sell you on this hotel, but I mean, this is my 3rd ever YouTube video. I don't have any like affiliation with it whatsoever. It is just genuinely a gorgeous property, and I would highly recommend going. Yeah, it could be super romantic. I can definitely imagine it would be an amazing spot to spend your honeymoon, but for us it was just great for a girls trip. There were 4 of us who went, and we just had the best time together. And there was another group of girls actually who are from Samanvaya, who'd gone down for the weekend. Yeah, it's just a really great experience to stay there, and it's amazing to see a part of Bali that perhaps a lot of people who come here don't get to see. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.